Hey folks, welcome to another free count with Gino. As you can see, Toddy, the dog, she wants to be a big part of this one. So it's been a while since we talked. Um, hey Tots. Yeah, it was a long week for me with family stuff. I went to a concert and spent a couple of days just trying to recover from that concert. Yeah, so we're gonna talk first off about all the releases that happened with WWE this week. Unfortunately for a few people, it was their second release, and looks like there's probably no coming back now from this one. So let's kick it off with all the releases. Some of them kind of shocking, a few that make absolutely no sense, and a few that came out that there's body shaming involved, and one that legitimately took me out of left field completely. I just can't say it's because she didn't get over or she wasn't good or the fans didn't care about her. I'm not gonna lie, I love this girl personally. As you guys remember me talking about her repeatedly, I thought she was gonna be champion several times, but I guess injuries kind of caused this. But let's kick it off with the first one. This one was shocking to me. Corey Jade has been cut by the WWE due to injuries, more than likely. I'm assuming. And after Gigi Dolan was in several tag team title competitions and individual matches, and was challenging for um, individual titles at certain points, and was a part of a new faction with Tatum Paxley and Shotzi Blackheart, Gigi Dolan is showing the door. And along with Gigi Dolan, Shotzi Blackheart is showing the door. And along with Shotzi Blackheart showing the door, Javier Bardem. So pretty much anyone associated with Tatum Paxley has now been released from WWE. Her husband and their two best friends. So imagine that being her in 24 hours, losing three people that mean the most to you and your job. Um, we'll talk about the huge ones as I get closer to it. But for me, I think Cora Jade is absolutely, utterly mind blowing. I thought that girl should have been on the main roster by now. I think they hesitated way too long with her and Roxanne. They should have been on the main roster a long time ago. And now Corey Jade is now Elena Black, and she's teasing that she may be doing something. Oh yes, Riley Osborne also cut by WWE. Um, Corey Jade is actually teasing she's going to be tag team with Blair Davenport. Um, that one just kind of upset me for a day or two because, as many of you know, I am a gigantic Corey Jade fan. Thought the world of that girl. I thought she was absolutely brilliant on the microphone. Very good character, extremely good in the ring, and we'll see what Elena Black has to do. And hopefully one day we will see her back in the WWE. She's a CM Punk girl. Maybe has something to CM Punk playing politics. Got her fired. I don't know. Excuse me. It's also kind of ironic that WWE just hired four Mexican wrestlers just like after they fired all these women. And there's rumors going around that Alberto Del Rio's been rehired by WWE. Absolutely false. He was hired by AEW and is contracted with AEW, but WWE says they have no reason or thoughts of doing any business with that scumbag piece of shit. So yeah, there's that. Also, Jakara Jackson released by WWE and Ora Menza, so this is kind of weird. After 2 days after Metaphor decided they're going to break up on TV, two of the members of Metaphor are cut. Danny Palmer, for those of you who know who that is gone from WWE. She could have been very good. She was good friends with Zolruka, and then she got injured way too many times and was just completely written off of anything. She could have been very good. She was athletic as fuck, but just too many injuries. Double hip surgery, now double knee surgery. She blew out her knee in a match and finished that match, but she is now officially gone. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter gone from the WWE. These are two girls who had momentum of popularity in NXT, rode the wave, were NXT Tag Team Champions, longest reigning NXT Tag Team Champions, longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions for women, and got to the main roster and they were destroyed by Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell many times, and that was about all you ever saw from them again. And they are now gone from WWE. Kaden Carter will be wrestling again. I contain a chance. I don't know. Probably is hacking, maybe, possibly. And now we're gonna get to the big ones. This is one WWE completely, utterly dropped the fucking ball, in my opinion. How do you fuck up Shayna Baszler? She's legitimately one of the most terrifying people you have on your roster, and you just keep dropping repeatedly the ball with her. What you brought up, they brought up as a fucking vampire who ate Becky Lynch's neck. When she was in NXT, she destroyed everything that came near her. She obliterated Asuka. She obliterated Io Sky. She obliterated Kairi Sane. She walked through everyone. She was destroying Rhea Ripley at certain points and then lost her title to Rhea Ripley and just never recovered the momentum. She was the girl that beat Ember Moon's undefeated streak. She beat her twice in a row in NXT when nobody could touch Ember Moon. She absolutely obliterated Ember Moon's matches. One ran through only person in the history of the Elimination Chamber who eliminated every single person in the Elimination Chamber. Got stuck in a shitty tag team with Ronda Rousey and other stupid things. Then was some weird fucking thing called PFC with Sonya Deville. Sorry to think for a second. That's how irrelevant that was. And Zoe Stark, and how Zoe Stark is not cut. And I'm not saying she should be, because I'm a Zoe Stark fan. But now PFC is completely and utterly gone. As that is Zoe Stark, so it's kind of awkward as her as not your two writing buddies gone within 5 months of each other. And we shouldn't be shocked because WWE always does massive cuts after Mania. But unfortunately, this is weird because they said it's the record high profits they've ever made, and all these people are unfortunately losing their jobs. The NXT people I mentioned all have no compete with their 1 month. The main roster guys, 3 months. This one was out of left field for me. This is Braun Strowman has been cut by the WWE. The guy probably had the greatest run of his career since he was "I'm not done with you" character in a long time. Absolutely fantastic matches with Fight Two and Bronson Reed. His last monster standing match with Bronson Reed and Fatu himself, absolutely fucking incredible. He had a good little tag team run with Apollo Crews, and Apollo Crews gets hurt, and had a nice segment with LA Knight. Looked like they were going to do something with them, and this one's kind of sad because Braun Strowman admitted he's no longer going to be wrestling. He's just age and injuries. And if you guys have heard this guy talk, you should hear the amount of injuries this guy is dealing with. He's broke his back twice. He's broke his neck. He's tore his tricep. He's tore his knees. This guy gave his body to the business, and in return, WWE kind of disrespected him near the end. And as a wrestling fan, I'm not cool with that, but it's business. And unfortunately, WWE said they just could not pay him the salary or pay him for the amount of times they could use him from now on. And that was it for Braun. And this one just completely out of left field because 3 days before this was announced, they told this person they were just going to bench her till they had a story ready for her, and they had one coming ready for her. How does somebody go from being in a tournament finals to the first number one contender to this title to a person who was just having fire match after fire match after fire match, so over with the fans, and was having great runs and had a great run with Io, and they were just waiting for us to Damage Control to come back, and now for the second time, Dakota Kai's been fired by WWE, and I'm I've been a fan of Evie for a very very long time, from her time in Australia to her time when she was doing the Indies with Shimmer and Shine to her NXT runs. She had an absolutely fantastic fire feud with Tegan Knox, now known as Nixon Newell again. And if you listen, Nixon Newell's retort to everything that happened, she's like, how could someone company be so fucking stupid to release so much talent? And for the most part, I will agree with them. Like, people didn't actually get to see how good Oro Menzo was. That guy was so good. I need everything that was asked of me carried a group when Noam Dar went back, and it's kind of ironic how Noam Dar's back, and now he's out of the picture completely. I'm still in disbelief that Cora Jade is I'm no longer going to see Cora Jade on NXT or WWE in general. I absolutely loved Cora Jade. I thought she was one of the more talented women they've had in a long time, personally. Big fan of Priscilla Kelly for a long time now. From Gigi Dorland, formerly Priscilla Kelly. She was just kind of thrown to the wayside after Toxic Attraction blew up and everyone focused on Gigi Dolan, or JC James, sorry. And if you didn't ask me personally, I think Priscilla Kelly's the more talented of the two. She's more capable of doing things than I think Gigi Dolan was. I'm sorry, JC James. I mean, they had that whole little Monette and everything made up for her in the videos, how she was different, how she always thought she was different, and had that run going for her. And then unfortunately she blew out her knee, and I guess the writing was kind of on the wall there. They had to come back, have a few matches, go in title chasing contention with Titan. They lost all those, and then and Jakar Jackson I just don't personally get because her and Lash Legend were so over and they were so good, and you thought they'd be on the main roster as a tag team because cast aside the fact that like some of these people, the tag team division, let alone the women's tag team division, is so barren that what are you gonna do? And I guess they completely scrapped the idea of the women's tag team titles because Liv wasn't even on Raw this week, and they said they were going to announce something about her movie this week, but she's just not there. And Liv wasn't even carrying. I mean, Raquel wasn't even carrying her half of the women's tag team titles. So I guess WWE's completely got rid of the women's tag team titles. Not that they were ever made relevant. Dakota Kai just makes no earthly sense at all to me whatsoever. Why you release somebody that good who just the crowd beloved so much and was in such a popular group, and we were just waiting for those two to come back and reform Damage Control, and now there's nothing. Here's to hopefully seeing a lot of these girls on Impact Wrestling because I think they're just so good on Impact Wrestling. If they go to if they go to AEW, I think they're just get lost in the shuffle because AEW focuses on 4 or 5 women. And whoever's in AEW is just going to lose to Mercedes Moné. I'll be right back, guys. I think my dog sees something. I'll be right back. Sorry, folks. Um, sorry, guys. So, I just personally don't get the releases. There's certain people I thought that probably would have got released and didn't, and there's certain people that are still there that got released and did. I didn't think we get released. Oh yeah, sorry, Eddie Thorpe also released. So Dakota Kai and her boyfriend both cut by WWE, and that's gonna suck for both of them. The good thing is one gets to work in a month and one has to wait 3 months to work. So Dakota Kai is not gonna be able to make any money for 3 months, and Eddie Thorpe's got to wait 30 days. So the Dakota Kai cannot wrestle till Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter cannot wrestle till August, and everybody from NXT gets to wrestle at the end of July. Or the end of this month, I apologize, guys. So, what do you think of that, Tots? Yeah, she's self-touching one a short face right now. Um, that being said, and also you can see it affected some of the talent very badly. Because I don't know if you guys saw Damien Priest's face on SmackDown when he had to come out, but you could tell that man had been crying for quite a bit because Katana and Sherry Caden Carter is one of his best friends. If you've seen their TikTok and Instagram videos together, they are very, very close friends. And now she's not there anymore. That's all he said. Um, he didn't mention her name, but he's like, my friend is no longer with me anymore. And that upset him, he said on his promo. And then you just lost friends and those like to lose friends. It sucks. It hurts a lot. But on that note, guys, let's talk about a very, very good Raw I thought today. Second week in a row after Raw's been cooking for the last 3 weeks. Let's put it that way. My opinion. Um, let's hit it. Raw starts off with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso in the ring, and I'll just say this: Paul Heyman maybe is probably one of the best talkers in wrestling, and he might have just hit the best promo of his entire career. He had his Dusty Rhodes promo. We'll call it that way. So I call it. Everything is blamed on Paul. Everything's all about Paul. Everything's always Paul's fault. Paul's always the bad guy. You have to watch his promo to know what I'm talking about, but it is absolutely, utterly brilliant. It is his hard times promo, in my opinion. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely fire. It makes this guy seem like he snapped. And anyways, after this promo, he talks straight to defending his title against Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw that in Oklahoma tonight, and that will be the main event. Sorry, guys, just a little tired today. After that, we get Penta versus JD McDonough. Absolutely fire match. Neither one of these two guys can go wrong with. Penta has a brand new theme song once again, and the guitar is played by the guitar player from not Tua. Yes, it was Tua. Fire match. Bunch of interferences. Even more teasing. Judgment Day is going to break up as Carlito and Finn Balor are kicked out of ringside after getting caught interfering. Chad Gable reappears, as does fuck, Penta. Or sorry, not Penta. Chad Gable reappears and accidentally costs JD McDonough the match against Penta, and AJ Styles is there as well. So yes, great match. After that, we see Braun, Seth, and Paul backstage talking about how they tricked Jay into giving him a title shot tonight, and how their plan is all coming together, and you'll see more of it in the theory in the future. Then we have Waller and Theory, and together with Pierce, and Theory gets talked into taking us to Waller's match against a mystery opponent because Austin Theory wants to be a good guy and gave Theory the opportunities he thinks he deserves. That mystery opponent becomes Sheamus, very good match, but you can tell that the sprinkling of seeds is more there. That Austin Theory is realizing that Waller's not the guy he thinks he is. Sheamus eventually wins, of course. Very good match, hard hitting, of course. And then during the intermissions that we get in Canada and the rest of the world besides North America, you get a very, very good Karrion Kross promo where it teases Kathy Kelly going to be a heel of Seth Rollins' group because, of those of you that don't know, Kathy Kelly's secretly been training in the WWE Performance Center for the last couple of months. She wants to be a manager and maybe interim talent at some point. So good on Kathy. Like I said, we had Judgment Day segment with more teasing as Balor and AJ Styles acknowledge each other. Even call Balor even acknowledge. Sorry, AJ Styles acknowledges Balor even calling him Prince. For those of you who know, the Prince Fergal. And now next we get a very very fire segment between Becky Lynch and Lyra, and Lyra ends up dropping Becky, so we know Becky's winning the belt this weekend. After that, we get Roxanne Perez versus Io Sky. I made probably match of the night in my opinion. Both these girls are so good. And this is the first time we actually get a clean finish because everything else has been disqualifications and interferences, and Roxanne must really piss somebody off. Because I can't remember the last time this girl won a match. She loses by a surprise roll up. Absolutely fire match, but I don't think it's such thing as a bad Io Sky match. And Roxanne Perez, same thing. I don't think it's possible to have a bad match. Probably my opinion for match of the night. And then we had Rusev's first match on WWE in 5 years, and he did exactly what his character was supposed to do. He and Otis absolutely beat the fuck out of each other. Great storytelling. Rusev ends with wins the accolade, and then after he comes back and absolutely obliterates Alpha Academy. Great, great match. Viking Raiders are setting up a match against Alpha Academy next. Sorry, American Made next week when it gets New Day. It's more than likely gonna be Viking Raiders because if you don't know, Alpha Academy's Creed brothers, or sorry, American Made's Creed brothers are all going to be taking part of UFC's Tough Enough. So I guess they got to disappear from TV for a little bit to prove it's not already filmed. Excuse me, guys. Maxie Dupree was wearing. Just go watch what Maxie Dupree was wearing. That's all I'm gonna say. Just worked on Maxie Dupree. Wow. Pat McAfee and Gunther had a really good in-ring segment where they both took a nice little runs at each other for promos, and it ends with Gunther pretty much saying to choke Pat McAfee till he falls like a wet rag and drops to the mat. And only God will be able to pry his arms off of Pat McAfee's throat. Gunther is terrifying, and I think, like I told my buddy Colin, we'll talk about it more in my predictions, but I think Gunther should absolutely just maul Pat McAfee, walk all over him, and that be that. Um, and then we had our main event, and this surprisingly was a good James match. That's probably because he's in there with Seth Rollins. I don't think it's possible to have a bad Seth Rollins match. Very good. The crowd was very into it. Jay is so very, very over. Very good match for his first title defense. Very good opponent for his first title defense. As we know, the match with Logan Paul, when that eventually does happen, will not be as good. Jay's work rate's getting so much better. So I take back everything I said about Jay, and he's learning so much more. Um, but like I said, there's no such thing as a bad Seth Rollins match. Guy's just so very good. But you give him his flowers before it's too late and he's gone. Because Seth is very, very banged up for these that don't know. And he's been very underappreciated for a long time by majority pockets of the wrestling world, and that is bullshit in my opinion. But there's something else I want to talk about after I talk about the releases and end this Raw segment. Um, yeah, Jay eventually does win due to disqualification because both Braun and Sammy get involved, and then CM Punk comes out and makes a save, so I guess we're getting in some form of Sami Zayn and CM Punk, or Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, or Jey Uso and CM Punk versus Braun and Seth in some form, and another member of this group. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a 3-on-3 match down the road, but it's too late to build up to the pay per view now. And what happened to Logan Paul? He was supposed to be title challenger, and then he just randomly disappeared. If we want to take Logan Paul seriously, he should be on every other episode, or at least if he's in a title program, be on the fucking show. Just don't show up when you feel like it and not feel like it. Like, here's my thing. Why is Logan Paul not fired from WWE, but all those people actually bust their ass and did the job they're supposed to do? Makes zero sense to me. It is what it is in the future, but I guess it's because Logan Paul makes money somehow, but nobody gives a fuck about Logan Paul. Sorry, guys. Um, this is what I want to end the show with. Gigi Dolan, um, Mr. Five Star himself, Dave Meltzer, said people like Gigi Dolan and Cora Jade were fired due to the fact of work rate and body and physical appearance and stuff like this, and the inability to actually put together good matches. Unfortunately, it's not true. Both of them came out and said they were never told the matches were good, never told anything else. They were body shamed by not only, hey, come here. They were body shamed by not only fans, but also coworkers and Shawn Michaels and Triple H, saying that they didn't work hard enough in the gym to be on front of television. And they both come back and refuted both. Like, if you actually go and read Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade's tweets, she actually says after her cardio and strength conditioning, it wasn't good enough, so she should go on her own and find her own gym to actually continue her working. She didn't got what she had to develop. And Gigi Dolan said, "How is it possible for me to actually do the workouts properly? And I do them when I have to do TV, travel, do another show, then go to another division altogether in a different company, do their stuff, come back, do my work, and then start to go to the gym." So how dare anyone decide to take shots like this at these people when you don't do it yourself? Like, us as fans have no right, and I know that part of being women's wrestling is you have to sell sex, and body sex sells. But us as fans have absolutely no right to body shame people when they're actually willing to go out there and show off their bodies to the world. And we're cowards who must are dressed up in hoodies or shirts or long jeans or long pants and refuse to show an inch of skin at the arena. And these girls are legitimately bearing everything for these men. And we think we have the right to take shots at them? No. And I'll leave you guys with that. I will talk to you again in a couple of days with SmackDown and NXT together. But if you disagree with me or agree with me, leave some comments down below in the comments, and I want to hear what you guys think of the releases, the body shaming scandals, and what you thought about Raw tonight. I thought it was absolutely brilliant, probably one of the best Raws I've seen in a while. And I will talk to you guys in a few days.